33 kg, both 11 years old. Eric Finnegan of the Golden Cobra Club, the host club tonight. He's in the red singlet, up against in blue Christopher Tobin from Corinthians in Dublin. Finnegan, Coca-Cola League champion. Tobin, Coca-Cola League finalist. They have met before. That was a thumping punch immediately, Neil Goff, from Finnegan in the red.
Great right hand, usually jab to get in, and perfect straight right hand over the top. Caught Tobin with he's dropping his left hand a wee bit, he's opened the right hands. But it's a big night for these two young lads to get into the ring in such a crowd and everything, and it's really great for them.
Second round, and Finnegan, Eric Finnegan of the Golden Cobra Club in the red, pouncing forward right at the start of this second round, just as he did starting the first. Connected well early on in that opening round and trying to get Tobin against the ropes early on in this second. He's had Tobin on the back foot a bit, but
he's moving very well. He's moving back on the back foot, he's boxing around. So make Finnegan draw him in and catch him as he comes in.
Christopher Tobin in the blue from the Corinthians club, Eric Finnegan, Golden Cobra in the red. Finnegan attacking well again in this second round, which is 60 seconds old now.
That's what he needs to do. Well, Finnegan's going forward, he needs to go over 2 and 3 punches, not just 1 and 2, and he'll always land them.
Scoring well for you so far, is he?
Yeah, he needs to throw his punch in clusters rather than just single punches.
Referee Paddy Keogh dividing the two as this second round comes to a close. Tobin looking to get some good scoring punches in at the end of this second round. Eric Finnegan in the red told not to drop his head by the man in the middle. Much livelier second round from both men this time, really, Neil. Christopher Tobin can hold.
Yeah, the both boxers very well. Tobin's a very good boxer. He's moving around trying to draw Finnegan in, but Finnegan is attacking with clusters and catching him. And just at the very end, a great combination, exchange of punches. They both landed 3 and 4 good punches. It's a very close fight. Well, there's nothing in it into this last round. Both boys that have a really good go of it and see who can come out on top in the last round.
Second round, third and final round.
So the third and final round of 90 seconds between these two. Finnegan trying to come out, all guns blazing again, but Paddy Keogh having to stoop to keep the two divided.
A beautiful uppercut there by Finnegan, and smashing right uppercut.
He's been attacking well in this final round, the lad in red, Eric Finnegan.
I think he might be just pulling away. He landed 2 lovely clean punches there to start that round. Just edge in front, I think.
Tobin found himself against the ropes again, managing to push himself away, but only back towards the punches of Eric Finnegan again. And there's another brilliant combination from the Golden Cobra lad.
Yeah, he's really doing well with his right hand. He's landed that perfect straight right hand over the top every time. Tobin is carrying his left hand a little bit low, so he's opened that right hand.
Tobin having to get a few scores on the board, because Finnegan, from what we can see in this final round with the seconds ticking away, has really made his mark in this fight. Well, I wonder how much more we'll be seeing of Eric Finnegan and Christopher Tobin in the years to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, please do put your hands together for 2 fine young prospects. Thank you. And the winner of that excellent exhibition contest of amateur boxing by computer scoring of 11 points to 4, Finnegan in the red corner.
Great contest, 2 great prospects.
Please
great victory for Eric Finnegan for Golden Cobra by 11 points to 4. The first of these senior amateur fights on this Pro-Am bill. It's Thomas O'Shaughnessy of the Golden Cobra Club in the red corner up against Gareth Dunn from Neilstown in the blue, the current reigning All-Ireland Under-21 and intermediate champion. O'Shaughnessy in the red. This is only his second fight back after 7 years away from the ring. Up against Dunn, who is a tremendous prospect, reigning All-Ireland champion at 2 levels, and for O'Shaughnessy to come back and fight someone as supreme as this, it's going to be the ultimate test for the Golden Cobra man, I'm sure.
Big test for him, yeah. Dunn already is boxing over a southpaw stance, so it'll make it a very cat and mouse. It'll be like a game of chess for a while until they settle each other down. O'Shaughnessy needs to work his right hand, keep his left hand up and work his right hand as Dunn comes into him.
Dunn forcing himself forward well in the blue, in what you might call the Inter Milan singlet of blue and black stripes. Gareth Dunn of Neilstown lost to David Nevin of Cavan in the seniors this year, which you might have seen a couple of months back. 1940 went down in the opening round. But O'Shaughnessy trying to hold his own well in this opening round. We're into the second minute of it. 4 2-minute rounds.
O'Shaughnessy seems to have a very big right hand. He's trying to land it all the time, but he needs to move in with the jab first before he lets that right hand go if he's to really do damage with it.
Do you notice any rustiness so far on the man they call Shocko?
Not really, not a whole lot. He just sometimes he's throwing the right hand from too far out and he's leaning in with it. But if he just works his jab on the way in, it'll be far better. He likes the box on the back foot and he's trying to draw Dunn in.
Well, so far it looked as if he gave as good as he got in that opening round, Thomas O'Shaughnessy, but the scores will tell us otherwise at the end of that first round. But Gareth Dunn started tremendously well there, didn't he?
Both boxed very well. Dunn started well. O'Shaughnessy came into it again towards the end with his right hands.
Very tight opening round, and Dunn just shaded it by 3-2 in the computer scoring. Here's the second. Gareth Dunn of Neilstown in the blue, leading Thomas O'Shaughnessy, Golden Cobra, in the red. 3-2 from the opening round. And Dunn coming in with some powerful punches early on. O'Shaughnessy had responded well and responded very well there.
Big right hand he landed there, yeah. He's to carry a bit of power in that right hand. Dunn just needs to keep boxing up on his toes and using his jab and hooking off the jab and bringing over his left hand.
I think Gareth Dunn has suddenly realised he's in a fight.
He suddenly realised Dunn needs to be on the back foot. He's going forward too much. I'd first see Dunn the back foot and trying to draw O'Shaughnessy onto his punches.
Dunn was the senior lightweight runner-up in 2003, lost to Andrew Murray. But he's had a brilliant run this year at both under-21 and intermediate. Just needed senior glory to complete the set. O'Shaughnessy's making it so hard for him.
Another great right hand by O'Shaughnessy. He's setting Dunn up and bringing him onto the big right hand. And that seems to be his punch. And for a guy who's been in the ring for 7 years, he's doing very well. Because normally when you take a break in boxing, it's very hard to get back up to speed.
It's as if he's never been away. He's fighting brilliantly, O'Shaughnessy.
Well, I think some of the problem this fight is Dunn is playing to O'Shaughnessy's hand because he's coming forward.
And Gareth Dunn might have just a small bit of work to do.
Yeah, another perfect right hand in the middle. He's standing in front of O'Shaughnessy Dunn and he's getting caught with silly right hands down the middle.
What a round.
Yeah, he's falling 2 or 3 behind in this round.
What a round for O'Shaughnessy. And Gareth Dunn
To the ringside, please, Vinny.
falling into the corner, and will need plenty of advice from Jerry Fleming, because O'Shaughnessy clearly looked to have done well in that round.
Round 3.
A brilliant second round for O'Shaughnessy in the red. Thomas O'Shaughnessy of the Golden Cobra Club took that second round 4-2, and he now leads 6-5 overall. Dunn needing to respond then in this third round. Still hugely close, but in O'Shaughnessy's favour, although Dunn did hit with a good left there.
Yeah, Dunn's a far better boxer if he starts using his boxing. He's drawing on O'Shaughnessy now, picked him off with his own left hand. I think he needs to get the pressure on O'Shaughnessy because he doesn't look as fit as Dunn. If he does that, he might take him down in the last round.
Would there be a fatigue factor, you reckon, coming in for O'Shaughnessy now?
I think so. He doesn't look as strong as Dunn. Dunn's moving very well still, moving in there with the punches. I think O'Shaughnessy will start to struggle in the last round if Dunn can pick up the pressure, pick up the pace.
Dunn of Neilstown in the blue, looking maybe a bit more comfortable than O'Shaughnessy, but there's no doubting that the Golden Cobra man was making things very uncomfortable for Dunn in the opening half of this fight. Paddy Keogh, the referee, intervening to the detriment of Thomas O'Shaughnessy, but no matter what happens here, he's really kept his end up tremendously. Nothing to be ashamed of at all. He's performed brilliantly. Gareth Dunn just looks a lot more focused in this third round, which surely went his way.
Love his skill again there by Dunn. Just at the very end, he stepped to his right and burned with a perfect left hand there to get the score.
Seconds out. Fourth and final round.
There's no denying that round 3 was Gareth Dunn's. He took it 5-2. He leads 10-8 overall. And O'Shaughnessy now finds himself in scoring terms on the back foot and having to attack as we go into this final round. But the scores are distributed to both corners between rounds. O'Shaughnessy will know exactly what he has to do.
Yeah, and I think Dunn is looking far fresher and far stronger in this last round. He's moving around the ring far better now than O'Shaughnessy.
He just bounced off the ropes there impressively. Gareth Dunn. He's in the blue from Neilstown, leading by 2 going into this final round, and a good hit on O'Shaughnessy again.
Cracking left hand down the middle again by Dunn. And again, you see him moving to his left and left hand over the top again.
Well, that cut around O'Shaughnessy's nose is not improving. And in the final minute of this fight, he really does look as if he's tiring, doesn't he?
He's starting to struggle. That's what's been out of the ring for 7 years, does he? You know, it's hard to get back up to the speed when you come back, and Dunn is just really starting to box really well in this round. I think he's making up for what happened in the second round.
It'll stand to him though, won't it? We'll see him in the Nationals next year. O'Shaughnessy, and he'll be a better, sturdier fighter after this.
Every contest he has from here in will stand to him. You know, it'll take him a while to get back up to full fitness and full speed. As senior boxing changes every year, and it's difficult to keep up with it.
The second round was probably a wake-up call for the intermediate and under 21 champion, but O'Shaughnessy's coming in again.
Again, a cracking right hand again. Dunn has to be careful.
This could be some finish to the fight. Dunn with a straight punch just as referee Paddy Keogh was dividing them. A couple more scoring punches though from the man in red. He could nick it. It looks as if it'll be a close one when the final scores come through.
Very close. That was a great last round. Great last round.
What a fight it was though. Well, I don't think that's the sort of fight anyone was expecting.
Very good. And the winner of that very exciting contest by a computer scoring of 13 points to 10, Dunn in the blue corner.
Almost a shock from Shocko. Thomas O'Shaughnessy we'll see again. He was a name of the past. Maybe he'll be a name of the future again. But under 21 and intermediate champion Gareth Dunn, the winner of that one by 13 points to 10. This a middleweight contest at 75 kg. Edward Healy of Portlaoise in the red, the current All-Ireland intermediate champion, up against a man we weren't expecting to see tonight. In the blue from Crumlin, Eddie McDonough, the 17-year-old and 11th hour replacement for Gisala's Henry Coyle. So McDonough, you could say, thrown into the deep end, the Dublin and Leinster champion, brought in at the 11th hour. Healy, the Leinster senior champion, Irish senior international. And just in terms of matching, Eddie Healy in the red would be the pre-fight favourite.
Yeah, he looks a stronger and a bigger, like a young lad, 17-year-old Eddie McDonough coming in. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to come in late. Sometimes it's good because there's no expectation. But he's making one mistake as it is. Well, he's moving on to the right hand of Healy all the time now. He's moving to his left, which is a wrong way to move. And
something that the Portlaoise man in red maybe appreciates him doing. Didn't have to come too far from Crumlin though. McDonough, although did find himself up against the ropes, has managed to push himself away. Paddy Keogh again, the man in the middle, dividing the two. Getting a few punches in, Eddie McDonough, but Healy looks the more comfortable.
Looked far stronger as well. Looks, yeah, the more accomplished boxer. You know, picking his punch without a body and head. Again, McDonough is moving to his left, and he's going to move on to that big right hand from Healy if he's not careful.
A couple of thumping rights to finish the opening round for Eddie Healy from Portlaoise. Was preparing himself for Henry Coyle, was Healy. Instead it's this man, Eddie McDonough. Edward Healy of Portlaoise in the red. Reigning All-Ireland Intermediate Champion, Leinster Senior Champion, International Honours. Eddie McDonough, 17-year-old in the blue from Crumlin, the Dublin and Leinster Champion. But this is a definite step up in class against the Portlaoise man.
Getting some lovely punches there, and referee steps in to give a count.
Standing count for Eddie McDonough. Advice about his right hand coming in as well.
Yeah, keep the left hand up and move to his right. He's moving on into his left, which is onto Healy's right hand every time. And Healy throws some really quick, hard combination of punches with both left and right, so it's hard to avoid them all.
Barely halfway through this second round, and Healy seems to be scoring well. Had another good left there a few moments ago, and he's mixing the punches excellently across McDonough. Comfortable.
McDonough's trying to confuse Healy now. He switched southpaw, just trying to upset him a wee bit. He's gone back to southpaw again. He's switching all the time.
McDonough just showed a temporary fleet of footness, which we haven't seen from him throughout this fight so far. It's almost like an impossible task for the blue corner, whereas in the red, I think they'll be happy with what they've seen so far. As the second half of this middleweight fight begins at 75 kg, Edward Healy of Portlaoise in the red, leading Eddie McDonough from Crumlin in the blue by 12 points to 4. Won the opening round 5-2 and the second 7-2. And still good body punches coming in from Eddie Healy. But McDonough's really beginning to respond here for pretty much the first time in the fight.
He's probably been told by his corner to have a go here and see what happens, but he has to be careful, because if he's not doesn't protect himself all these punches, he's going to get caught with big punches by Healy and it could end the fight.
Well, remember, in the amateur game, you can only score with the white part of the glove. Only specific areas you can hit in order to score as well, and 3 out of the 5 judges with the various keypads in front of them have to press the buttons within a second of each other in order for you to score.
And Healy dropping his hands and getting too calm and got caught with a lovely left hand there by McDonough. Well, I feel if Healy opens up in this fight at all, he could really finish it off in the next round. He could really opens up and let go of those combinations.
Back in the offensive again in some style. Half a minute left in this penultimate round. And the man from Portlaoise in the red looks to be continuing his dominance. Say one thing for Eddie McDonough, he may not be Henry Coyle, but he's managed to stand up to what has been coming at him all night.
He's just trying to try and get himself back into the fight, but you know, Healy's just so much stronger than him. It's going to be very hard for him to do that. Again, the both boys look very, very tired now as well.
A very fruitful middleweight contest so far for Edward Healy in the red from Portlaoise. 18 points to 4 he leads going into this fourth and final round against Eddie McDonough of Crumlin in the blue. Last minute replacement McDonough was for Henry Coyle. Healy taking the third round 6-0. McDonough can only hope now for something spectacular. The Crumlin fighter. It'll have been an experience for him tonight, of that there's no doubt. But Healy continuing in this final round the way he's progressed in the previous three. He's had this air of confidence almost through the entire fight, Eddie Healy. And it will be a Portlaoise victory here in this middleweight contest. Enjoy the good.
And the winner of that contest by a computer scoring of 21 points to 6, Healy in the red corner.
Victory for Eddie Healy of Portlaoise. Credit to Eddie McDonough for coming in at the last minute to provide opposition for the Portlaoise man, but a comfortable win by 21 points to 6.
Eddie McDonough. Eddie McDonough. Nice to see you again.
Second act, round 1.
This should be an intriguing welterweight fight at 69 kg. It's Oisin Kelly of Portlaoise in the red, the All-Ireland Youth Under-19 and Intermediate champion, Leinster champion also at senior level, against Anthony Fitzgerald, Corinthians Dublin in the blue, the Leinster Junior champion, and who lost that Leinster senior final to the man in red. Irish international also. Kelly almost went all the way to win the senior title, but was beaten in a great final by Carl Bravison. Two men who know each other inside out, Neil, and this should be one to savour.
Yeah, again, it's a real chess match. Again, you have Kelly, who's a southpaw, and again, will box off his southpaw stance, trying to draw in Fitzgerald and trying to pick him off if he comes in.
Just needing the headgear to be replaced. Oisin Kelly, just get the little strap back in. Spotted by referee Kieran O'Neill. Nothing really connecting though in the last half minute until that from Kelly.
Good left hand down the middle.
Well, there's no doubting that Oisin Kelly, who was a terrific attacker during the senior championships, knows the sort of damage that Anthony Fitzgerald in the blue can provide, because he's managing to keep himself out of the way, and even when it looks as if he's going to get in the way, just manages to stride back, does Kelly.
Yeah, that's the real southpaw skills that he has. It's difficult for Fitzgerald. He has to get close, and sometimes it's very hard because you get picked off at right hook, left hand as you come in. But he's doing well so far. He's landed some good punches there earlier on.
That was a beauty.
Yeah, he gets caught. That's the danger with southpaws. They have a great straight left hand, and it's very hard to defend against it at times.
Kelly ended up in the ground, but not by legal means. A good attacking opening round. Couple of good strikes from Oisin Kelly. Bit of blood coming from Fitzgerald's nose now. Anthony Fitzgerald in the blue and black of Corinthians Dublin. Oisin Kelly of Portlaoise in the red, and that was a good strike by Fitzgerald, and he almost followed it up, and Kelly had to keep his distance in the end.
Yeah, but Kelly's working some good punches as Fitzgerald comes in. You see him again, body and head there in the last exchange. Again, he's tying Fitzgerald up, not letting him work.
Well, this is proving to be a hugely tough contest between these two, who've met regularly at Leinster level.
Again, being told step back when he's told and stop using the elbow. Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald just needing to defend himself a bit more. Looks as if a second cut might have developed there as well for Anthony Fitzgerald, and needs a bit of cleaning up in his corner at the end of that second round, which was again teak tough.
You can see the way it's going. Oisin Kelly's drawing Fitzgerald in, picking him off the wing and tying him up inside, not letting him work, not letting him use his body shots. Stepping back out again and again, using the long punches where he can. And it seems to be working effectively for him at the moment.
For the Portlaoise man in the red, really being made to fight for this one against a man who has troubled him often and regularly.
Again, well, as only Fitzgerald's going to get on top here if he stays close to Kelly, stop him working, stop him throwing them long punches and keep him on the back foot all the time.
It's almost a pirouette from the two. Fitzgerald not leading the way. Kieran O'Neill would prefer. It has been scrappy.
Fitzgerald leaning on there and pushing on, so he's got to be careful. He'll end up getting a warning from the referee if he's not careful. Oh, lovely shot there by Kelly, smashing shot.
Standing count for Anthony Fitzgerald.
5, 6, 7, 8.
How does he react to that then? Not reacting too badly so far as the seconds trickle away from the third and penultimate round.
Just there, well, the end. You thought Kelly was going to finish out with a great left hand, but he stepped in at a finisher and he got caught with a perfect left hook there by Fitzgerald.
And as the seconds tick on, so too you would imagine what Fitzgerald's chances of winning, but he's causing Kelly problems, but not the sort of problems that'll score points.
Yeah, he's been very rough and ready here now. He's just trying to upset Kelly here.
You'd give this one to Kelly, you think?
I think Kelly's ahead, yeah. He's still scoring the last couple of shots in the last round. You didn't see Fitzgerald getting back 3 punches. Again, Fitzgerald punching after the breaks. He was not careful, he'll be warned here.
Well, there's been no penalties during this fight. There won't be either. It was a tough one. It was a firm one. It kept referee Kieran O'Neill so busy.
And the winner of that enthralling contest by a computer scoring of 12 points to 7, Kelly in the red corner.
He didn't lose a single round. 1-3, tied 1. And Oisin Kelly, the All-Ireland Youth Under-19 and Intermediate champion, dispatches perhaps his keenest opponent. Great win for Kelly over Anthony Fitzgerald.
And the trophies are presented.
And that's it for now.
Seconds out, round 1.
The last of the amateur contests on this first ever Pro-Am night at the National Stadium. Light welterweight, 64 kg, and twice lightweight senior champion of Ireland, A. Carlisle of the Golden Cobra Club. He's in the red, taking on Paul Connolly from Neilstown in the blue singlet. Carlisle, who reached the semi-finals this year of the Senior Championships, lost 10-7 to David Joyce, one of that amazing Athai clan, fought in the World Championships in Texas in '99. And one of the most recognisable names in Irish amateur boxing. Connolly was beaten in the quarterfinals by Terry O'Neill of the seniors, 22-16. All-Ireland youth finalist, Leinster under-19 finalist, Leinster senior finalist to boot.
Well, again, like Don, Connolly is a southpaw, again, boxing in a southpaw stance. He's landed a couple of good left hands already on A, and he's working well at A. It's very difficult to come to counter the southpaw stance at the moment. Oh, cracking left hook. That's what he got to do, and bang over the right hand after he lands that left hook.
Carlisle in the red with Connolly against the ropes, but he's managed to force himself back. Carlisle stepped up to light welterweight. His brother Terry is a division below at lightweight. They didn't want to come up against each other, so A decided to step up to the heavier discipline. Again, looks to be a lowish scoring sort of a contest.
Yeah, again, the skill comes in again. The fact that when you have a south orthodox, you'll always have a low scoring bout because they need to work each other out with the tactics.
Well, none of Paul Connolly's punches in the opening round scored. Fighter from Neilstown in blue, Aid Carlisle in the red from Golden Cobra, 5-0 up following round one of this light welterweight contest. Carlisle, twice senior lightweight champion, lost the 98 final. But among those he conquered Eugene McEnany.
And that's what Carlisle needs to do. Bang over the right hand and follow with the left hook every time. It's the best way to beat a southpaw. Lovely punch from Carlisle. A perfect right hand. Oh, he's hurt him there, the big right hand.
Connolly was holding, annoyed Kieran O'Neill, seemed to annoy Carlisle as well. Tipped John McDonough 8-6 in the quarterfinal to the seniors, and now well on the offensive Carlisle. That score check he'd have got from his corner from John Farrell at the end of the opening round.
Great punches there by Carlisle, opened up body and head, and it's hard to defend against those. This could be a short fight, I think. Well, he seems to be scoring very well, Carlisle, when he opens up.
Connolly's being told to put the gloves up, and that's the end of it. Victory for A. Carlisle. Connolly retiring in the second round, was looking over at his corner, and his corner said that was it.
And the winner of that contest, referee Mr. Kieran O'Neill stopped that contest round 2, leaving the winner Carlisle in the red corner.
And the Golden Cobra man with an effective second round win. Man had not yet set foot in the moon when Peter Buckley was born, the Birmingham fighter in the black shorts for this opening professional fight of this inaugural Pro-Am night at the National Stadium. Peter Buckley, 36 years old, this his 248th professional fight, up against Paddy Hyland in the gold shorts from the home Golden Cobra Club. 2 victories to his name already. Well, it's the biggest night of Paddy Hyland's professional career. He weighed in at 9 stone, 2 pounds, 2 ounces. The man from Golden Cobra in the golden shorts.
He's starting very well, Patrick. He's getting in some good shots. Good jabs, good right hands, a couple of good body shots as well, so he's staying well on top here.
The scoring will be performed by referee David Irving from Belfast. Good strike from Hyland, getting Buckley against the ropes. Hyland with the perfect 2-0 record. Buckley 31 wins, 10 draws, 206 defeats. But some of those defeats against some of the best names of the past decade and a half.
Good left hook again by Hyland. He's banging in good left hooks there and getting some good scores.
Hyland came out to the gentle strains of AC/DC. He's been relatively electric so far.
Yes, so far so good. He's doing everything right. Corner will be very happy with him.
He's the epitome of a journeyman, Buckley. He has fought a who's who of great boxing names. So up against a man in his 3rd professional fight should hold no fears for Buckley, but a good strike to the body from Hyland. And a great reception for the Dubliner as he goes back into his corner, and I'd say he'd have been well pleased with how that first round went.
Seconds out, round 2.
So here comes Hyland after an encouraging opening round against a man who's fought The European champion from Wales, Jason Cook, David Burke, the top Liverpudlian, Brian Carr, the Scot, Richie Wenton, the former UK champion, a couple of Irishmen as well, Michael Gomez, Paul Griffin at Mill Street in '96 as part of the Collins Eubank undercard. He did lose all those fights, but also Scott Harrison and Michael Brodie he fought. Harrison beating Brodie for the world title in the past few days. Both of them could only beat Buckley on points. He's a man who knows how to go the distance. Michael Gomez, the Dubliner, has also fought and beaten Buckley, but he has shown, going through his record, and it was 10 pages of A4, which Buckley's record is. He knows how to go the distance, this guy.
He does indeed, he knows, yeah. But Paddy's doing very well here. He's whipping in some good jabs and left uppercuts to the body, and he's scoring very well.
He's got 31 professional wins to his name, 41 fights in which he didn't lose, and he is twice Western Area champion as well. Birmingham is a hotbed of boxing, and Buckley has proved himself at a regional level in England. Highland will have that turn in the next few years, you'd imagine, but he's forcing Buckley on the back foot and to really stay hugely defensive here, actually.
Very very defensive again. Paddy has to keep working that jab and bang over that right hand left uppercut every time he gets a chance.
Paddy Highland, he's still 21. Peter Buckley started his career when Paddy Highland was only 6 years old, but he's showing.
Good 1-2 again there by Paddy again, just stepped in. Lovely straight 1-2 and got him on there.
Highland showing plenty of flair and speed, and he's having the best of this so far.
Seconds out, round 3.
Our unofficial scoring is Paddy Highland taking the opening 2 rounds, 20 points to 18 up. That's our unofficial scoring. Really having to be so defensive again in round 3. Looking to tire, and Highland maybe looking for the kill at this stage in this third and penultimate round.
Yeah, he's starting to step it up a wee bit, double the jab, right hand, left uppercut. The combination will get him in close and then whip in and body shots, and you know, good uppercut there by Highland there. Drew his man on, and perfect right uppercut.
Followed up with the good body shot again, did Highland. Made to miss on a couple of occasions by Buckley as well, though. And from here, Buckley really looks as if he's beginning to tire.
Looks as if now, and the way Buckley's carrying his right hand across his chin, he's very open to left hooks from Highland if he can get them left hooks going, and followed by a big right hand.
We have said that Buckley's the sort of man who's able to go the distance, but he's finding this one a really tough prospect as we enter the final minute of the third round. Remember, Buckley answering a phone call 24 hours before this fight. János Garay, the Hungarian, having to withdraw. And Buckley's the sort of man who does answer the phone call a lot. Most recent fight coming a fortnight ago.
Good combination again by Highland. Needs to start working some more combinations and really step up the pace.
Closing stages of this third round, and Highland's attack tremendously throughout. He's making Buckley suffer. I just wonder if the confidence is there from this young Dubliner to maybe try and end this one early.
Yeah, but I find it very hard to end it early. Buckley looks very, very, very strong. I would say we've been in with some of the best in the world at this stage, and none of them stopped him. So he'll be looking for a point to win here if he can. Just a good performance is what he wants here, and a very, very good workout.
He's a big man, Buckley. Slightly low one from Highland. Pete Buckley's gone the distance with some names who are still right up at the top of the boxing tree. He's a big man for a featherweight, Pete Buckley. He's going to bring it into a final round. Though if this does go the distance, it looks as if it's heading firmly towards the man sitting in the red corner.
Yeah, he's won all 3 rounds now. He's boxing well, picking his punches well, and he's well at top.
Seconds out, fourth and final round.
There's no doubting Pete Buckley will sleep well tonight. He's had a tiring one. This is the 4th and final round. Our unofficial scoring has Patrick Hyland in the gold shorts, 3 rounds ahead, 30 points to 27 on our unofficial scorecard. Hyland, the Dubliner, in the gold shorts. Pete Buckley heading for a quarter of a millennium of fights. He's only 2 away from that, and no doubt he'll reach that very soon. He's in the black shorts from Birmingham, twice Western Area champion. Proved himself enough in the past. Looks as if he'll go the distance in this one as well. Proper journeyman stuff, really.
Exactly. Just going to say it. What is known as a journeyman in the boxing business. Just making a few pounds, boxing away, and just getting a couple of fights and taking each check at the end.
Still going strong at 36 as well in the ring, unlike some people that age.
Very well. He's doing very well. He's moving around well. He's not taking a whole lot of punishment, but Hynek's doing enough to stay on top at all times. Again, it's a very good workout for Hyland. You know, it's get some 4 good rounds against a very good, strong journeyman, and it's all about learning your trade at this age.
It's a workout that will do Hyland the world of good. Points victories over Dean Ward and Steve Gethin, both inside the 4 rounds at lightweight. Now he's stepped to featherweight. He's shown it to be an apt nickname. He's attacked well during this fight, Hyland.
Good work from Hyland, good double uppercut to the body there and back of the right hand over the top.
Couple of tired swings from Buckley now, betraying the fact he's a tired man at the end of this. Great performance from Paddy Hyland, and that looks like 3 wins in 3 professional fights for the 21-year-old.
And referee David Murphy scoring of that opening contest, 40-36, Hyland!
3-0 for Patrick Hyland. He won each of the 4 rounds.
And ladies and gentlemen,
A great featherweight victory over Pete Buckley.
Boxing, Peter Buckley.
And Hyland will take many more of those.
Legendary trainer, Nobby North.
Super featherweight contest. Eddie Hyland in the white, gold and green shorts up against Stefan Berza of Slovakia. He is in the white and the sky blue, and what an impressive start already for Eddie Hyland, the older of the brothers, 24 years old, 1 professional fight to his name, and a victory on points against Buster Dennis in Altrincham in Greater Manchester last November. Berza, 32 professional fights, 9 wins, and already taking a few punches. Was knocked out last month in the 3rd round in Savigliano in Italy by Antonio De Vitas. He's been based largely lately, Berza, in France and Italy, and Hyland is coming out immediately here, Neil.
Throws some very good shots, looks the stronger of both boxers.
It's just non-stop attacking from the Dubliner already, and Berza firmly on the back foot all the way. And not in the attacking sense of the phrase either. Hyland's looking to finish this early by the looks of it.
Good shot, right hand left hook again. Needs to work the jab, get in with the jab and bang over that right hand. Because he has the power to do damage here.
Well, Berza fought Alan Rockoff last year at Notre Dame. He heard bells then. I think he's probably hearing bells now as well. He's trying hard to hang on to Hyland, who's affected him so badly already. Was knocked out in the 5th round at Le Havre last year as well, the French port. It was a 5th round knockout at the hands of Yannick Bad, who didn't live up to his name. That's the closest Bursa has fought to Ireland so far. And his first visit to Dublin is not a pleasant one so far, because with 30 seconds left of this opening round, Highland is well in the offensive.
Yeah, coming a brilliant straight left hand down the middle there again. I think if he gets the punches on at all, he can put this guy away. He'll take his time and set him up and then take him out with some good punches.
Against the ropes again. And referee David Irving is having a good look here. And that's the end of it in the opening round. Victory for Eddie Highland. It's his first knockout of his professional career. He wanted to finish it early against Bursa, and he's done it in 2.5 minutes.
Excellent. As I said, if he put the punch together, it looked like he could take this guy out. That's a big win for him to stop someone of his caliber in the first round.
In a time of 2 minutes 51 seconds, round 1, referee Mr. David Irving stopped that contest in the interest of Bursa's own personal safety, leaving the winner, the new Jonestown Express Highland, Eddie Highland.
An impressive win for Eddie Highland. 2 pro fights, 2 wins, and for him against Stefan Bursa, the first inside the distance.
Bursa, all the way
To Faher. I'll tell you what, if this fight is anything like the build-up and the anticipation we've had here, we are in for 4 terrific rounds.
Seconds out. Round 1.
It's Paul Griffin, the Dubliner, in the black shorts with the white hoop, up against the Slovakian Peter Faher. And the Griffin record cannot be underestimated. He's never lost professionally in Ireland, won his first 12 fights pro, then lost to Dean Pithy in Telford in March 1998. Hasn't fought in Europe since then, relocated to Australia. And of his 9 fights there, he's only lost 1. He's won the rest, 20 wins, 2 defeats. European Championship gold in 1991 at this featherweight discipline, bronze in Bursa in 93. And so many thousands have come here to the National Stadium to see this man and this man alone, Neil.
I've seen Paul Griffin down to years as an amateur. I was on teams with him. I was in Gothenburg when he won that gold medal, a European gold medal, and he is one of the best boxers this country has produced in a long, long time. His skill and his timing is perfect.
Beat Pete Buckley in Mill Street. Beat Elvis Parsley in his home city of Sheffield. His last appearance professionally in Dublin, August 31st, 1996. 9 years the Irish boxing public have been waiting for the 4 times Irish featherweight champion to do something like that.
Great
And he's
body
already
shot. Whipping in a big left uppercut all the time to the body. He's working it in all the time.
And Faher is in trouble here. The former Slovakian super featherweight champion on the deck.
Right and left uppercut to the body. Crunching shot to the body.
This could be another first round win. Let's see what David Irving decides. Can he continue within 2 minutes?
It's hard
Griffin.
to recover. Phyllis,
He looks so sharp here, Griffin. Such excitement around the National Stadium.
well, it's hard to recover from body shots when they get on. It's really sinkings you through. All Griffin needs is another 1 or 2 of those big body shots and this fight will end.
It's Faher's 68th fight. 19 wins, 9 draws. He's lost to big names. Hungarian champion János Nagy, world European amateur champion Oktay Urkal, who ended up being light welter world champion Mario Rudolph as well. And Paul Griffin looks to be the latest name on that list of people who have beaten Faher. He's on the deck again.
Right hook to the body again, just crunching body shots. As I said, it's hard to defend against him, it's hard to recover from as well.
Brilliant body shots from Griffin. 2 counts in the first round for Faher, the 30-year-old. 3 years years younger than Griffin. He's showing his experience. His time down under has been well spent. What an opening round for Paul Griffin.
Yeah, exceptional punching there, Will. Picking the body shots lovely and really whipping them shots in. But you can see it, he's up for this fight. He seems to be very tight in the weight. Everything is ready for him to do very well here tonight.
Twice Faher faced counts. Twice from great blows from Paul Griffin.
Seconds out, round 2.
The start of the second round, I wonder if we'll reach the finish. 2 title fights for Peter Faher. He was Slovakian super featherweight champion in '98. Was beaten then subsequently in the German light welterweight title fight, beaten by Thomas Seeler. Christmas week 1996. Wasn't a happy Christmas, and I'm not sure it'll be a happy June for him here either.
Some lovely punch again. He's whipping the 2 uppercuts, left hand, right hand. And Faher don't know which hand is coming. It's very hard to defend against him.
And Griffin, the Olympian, with the white band, all right to the night for him. A majestic opening round. And you can see Faher starts every time a glove goes near him.
Griffin got caught with a left hook there, Will. He needs to keep his guard up when he's going forward.
Another great body blow. Managed to recover well Faher, but he's in a bit of bother to say the least. As we enter the second minute of the second round.
Griffin drawing him in now and trying to pick him off as he comes in.
And the man wearing the all black shorts looking in trouble here, scoring wise, and I'm sure Griffin knows one good punch might just end it.
It's a good combination against with Paul Griffin there again. He needs to work that right uppercut to the body. Is the one thing that's put him down a couple of times already.
Griffin giving away 6 ounces for this fight. He weighed in 9 stone 6 ounces. Faher 9 stone 6 pounds 6 ounces. He's actually giving 6 pounds away, Griffin.
It's a lot of weight to give away in a professional fight, and he's doing very well for it. He looks the stronger.
His last fight was last July. A points victory over Thongcharan Congo in Homebush Bay. Griffin is home now and looking every inch the comfortable fighter that he always has been. A brilliant amateur. He may be 33, but he's got the Slovakian down again for the 3rd time.
Left and right combination of the body is killing him.
He's feeling the pain now, Faher.
Yeah, right hook to the back.
All over. Great victory in 2 rounds for Paul Griffin. His return to his home city has been a victorious one in surely one of the most emphatic ways possible. What a win. What a winner.
Yeah, some lovely body punches, really working, really whipping in them body shots, made all the difference the whole way through the fight.
Well, you have to say that he finished it in much the way that he progressed throughout the entire fight. Poor old Slovakian, his 68th fight. I'm sure he's never had one that's ended as quickly as this. And Paul Griffin with a terrific triumph.
In a time of 2 minutes, 36 seconds, round 2. The contest was stopped in the interests of Faher's personal safety. Leaving the winner, welcome home the champion, Paul Griffin.
How good was that homecoming? Paul Griffin, a winner inside 2 rounds. A brilliant knockout of Peter Faher. Great victory for Paul Griffin. You wrapped that up pretty early, didn't you?
Yeah, surprisingly, but you know, punching well to the body, and I've come back from Australia about 7 months ago, and I haven't fought in over a year, but I got back into the gym January there, and I haven't left it, and you know, I've been living right, but for the first time in my life I've been living as a professional, and it just showed tonight. I think very strong, you know.
Your first fight in Europe for 7 years, your first fight in Ireland for 9 years, over far too quickly. You just wanted to just get over and done
I
with.
think when you hurt them, you know, and the crowd is not easy. I mean, if you stand back off them, the crowd are not happy. They want to see blood, you know, and it's good for my confidence too, you know, stopping them, and I'm punching very well to their body, you know.
I mean, the crowd were well on your side tonight. You must have loved the reception that you got throughout the fight.
Well, I remember fighting here for years, and I was probably #1 fighter in the amateurs for a long time, and I just brought it home. It's 11 years since I fought in a stadium, and it was amazing. And there's no crowd like your own crowd, is there? And I'm absolutely delighted to be back.
You're not going to go back to Australia after this, are you?
Well, I might be fighting over there soon, but no, I think I'm going to settle back in Ireland again, you know.
Any plans for further fights in Ireland for the rest of the year?
I don't want to say too much, but you know, I'm open to, I'm not contracted to anybody, so I'm open to all, you know, anyone that, you know, I'll take everything on board. That comes away, I'll have a think about it, and, you know, so I'm in a good position.
Any other Irish featherweights you might want to fight?
Well, I mean, everyone's going to, you know, soon they're going to want to see me and fight Bernard Dunn, you know, but I mean, Bernard's, I think, going on his own path at the moment, but I think it might happen, you know, it might not. I'm going to come down to super bantamweight, which is 8 stone 10 pounds. You know, because I weighed in 9 stone this morning, and yesterday I was 8 stone 12. So, I mean, I can easily get down to 8'10". So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm sure me and Bernard's in the pipeline.
Great performance tonight. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So to the main event, Super Bantam, 6 3-minute rounds if it goes the distance. Paulie Highland from Tala up against Ferenc Szabó of Hungary.
Seconds out, round 1.
Paulie Highland hoping it'll be a night to remember for him. His two brothers have already won tonight, but it will be a night to remember for Szabó, one way or the other, because the Hungarian is making his professional debut tonight. He's Hungarian amateur champion, an unknown quantity. Paulie Highland, twice Irish amateur flyweight champion, 2003, 2004, 2 pro fights, 2 wins, a keen prospect, Neil.
Yeah, very keen, but this could be a very hard fight for Paulie, because again, he's boxing in known quantity. You know, you don't know what his form is like or how he boxes, because we haven't seen him before. The corner very vocal for Szabó as well, really urging him on to him to do well.
The most notable comments within the National Stadium right now are all in Hungarian. It's the loudest voice coming from his corner, and they must be delighted with how it's gone so far in the opening round of 6.
Good shot, good uppercut there. That's what Paul needs to keep doing. Left, right, and left uppercut every time he can, just banging that uppercut.
Szabó seemed to absorb them well. Highland slowly beginning to come into his own and needing to.
Well, good
This looks
shots again.
a major step up from Highland. I think maybe a major step up from taking on Garayan Bakovi as well, because Szabó looks, this is his pro debut, remember, and he looks troubled. But Highland, after maybe a surprising opening minute in terms of what Szabó was able to throw at him, Highland has done well with this. It looks a tight opening round, this scoring-wise.
Very tight, yeah. Szabó is well schooled in boxing. You can see he's obviously had a very good amateur career. And you can see the way he's moving, the way he's boxing, the way he's stepping. Oh, great shot just at the end of the round. A perfect round. He's gone. Oh, he caught Szabó. Highland with a perfect right hand just at the end, and he buckled.
And just look at how heavy Szabó was breathing there.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Highland was heavily tested in that opening round, but
Again,
now he's
big,
got Szabó.
another big right hand there again. Well, boy, I think he has the power to put this guy away if he can connect with another couple of big right hands. Again, I think Szabó's in trouble here. 1 or 2 more, he's in trouble. Bring back the left hand and it's all over.
Good heavy punching from Highland from a distance. Szabó looks a bit like Dan Shanahan, but I'm not sure if he'll be the man tonight. Highland looking more impressive in this second round.
Szabo's hanging in there. He's always been caught with that big right hand. Paulie can get the right hand over and switch back a left hook. He could do a lot of, could leave it in one and put it away.
Szabo 9 stone, 11 pounds and 8. Brilliant. Szabo looking like a tree about to fall.
Big lesson there for Szabo. He turned his back in an amateur sheet. The fight will be stopped, but not at the pro. You can keep punching when they got caught a cracking right hand.
30 seconds left in this second round. And the big punches are coming from Highland now. And for the first time in the fight, Szabo is having to hold on.
Yeah, he's struggling now. The big punches are starting to sap his energy. Body and heavy the punches. Paulie needs just to tidy up a small bit. If he tidied up small and pick his punch a bit more, he could do an awful lot more damage.
Well, he just shaded the first round, Highland. But the Dubliner looks as if he's had the best of the second. Szabo trying to finish in the ascendancy. Received a good blow himself, though, from the Talaman. Excellent second round from Highland, really came into his own.
Yeah, lands some really, really good shots. Perfect right hands over the top. I think Szabo's really struggling now. But if he needs just to tidy up a wee bit, he can pick his shots a bit better, he'd probably take him out.
And in the unofficial scoring, Highland taking the opening 2 rounds, leading by 20 points to 18. Szabo being made to miss a lot now also for the first time in the fight. And as the rounds develop, it looks as if Highland is improving his grip on this contest. Szabo's attacks in this third round coming to naught, a replacement for Tamas.
He should straighten that right hand as well. He's swinging the right hand a good bit over the top, but he needs to straighten it now and then and just might make a bit of difference.
Szabo's not been able to do much at all in this third round. And the youngest of the Highlands is looking as equally impressive as his 2 older brothers have tonight. Holding to end the third round, we reach halfway, and Highland really in the box seat here.
Yeah, he's the most dominant boxer. He's doing all the good work. He's making Szabo work really hard.
As it enters the 5th round, Paulie Highland, the Dubliner, in the gold shorts, comfortable leader against the Hungarian Ferenc Szabo, the pro debutant, in the red.
Well, it's good as well for Highland to go in the next couple of rounds as well, because it's good. You can do all the training you want, but you can't beat good competitive fights, and the rounds will stand to him as he goes on in his pro career. Highland could do with stepping up this now and just really going to work hard in this round on Szabo and hopefully finish the contest if he can, because Szabo looks dangerous as the fight goes on.
He's holding on in there well, the Hungarian. An onslaught from Highland in rounds 2, 3 and 4. Szabo, I suppose you could just as easily have given the opening round to as well as Highland, although Highland did finish the opening round tremendously. Szabo almost getting his right foot caught in the ropes.
Paulie's letting Szabo take control of the fight now and dictating the fight, and he needs to get back on top and start pushing Szabo back, get his punches off and take control of the fight again from the centre of the ring. Good punch. They're the kind of punches Highland has to be throwing. 1-2 left uppercut. Whip in that left uppercut will take the steam out of Szabo, slow him down a wee bit.
The whole calls from the Hungarian corner have definitely diminished by now, heavily. They're still there, but not as loud and vociferous as they were, and maybe that's an indication of the fact that they know the fight's ebbing away unless a few more strikes that can come in and can end the fight. But Highland responding in kind and responding well.
Big right hand there by Highland just towards the end there. Again, finishing strong.
Looking good for Paulie Highland now with a single round to go at the National Stadium.
Seconds out, 6th and final round.
So here we go for the final round of this super bantamweight contest. Sixth and last round. Paulie Highland comfortable on our unofficial scoring. He's in the gold shorts against Ferenc Szabó, the Hungarian, in the national colours of red and white. On the unofficial scoring, Highland 5 rounds ahead, but Szabó was docked a point in the 4th round. And on the unofficial scoring, Neil, we've given that as a shared 5th round.
Last round was, yeah, it was a share round. They both landed some good punches. Highland is way ahead now, he just needs to keep moving, but not, keep the jab in Szabó's face as well to stop him taking control of the fight.
He's performed well tonight as the 20-year-old from Jobestown, Tala.
He's done very well in this fight because it was a difficult fight, Will, for him. The crowd seems kind of anxious for him, but it's hard to know how you're going against a guy who's in his pro debut. And Szabó's been a very good boxer.
We're on course for a hat-trick of Highland wins. 90 seconds to go. Szabó in his professional debut will realise more and more as the fight nights go on that a special punch can come, but it doesn't look like it's there tonight.
He needs to finish strong. A minute to go now in this round or so, thereabouts. He needs to finish strong and win the round and finish on a high.
He's looking to do that. The noise level will reach a crescendo at the National Stadium as soon as this one is brought to its natural end, barring something amazing happening in the next 30 seconds. Szabó's looking more and more tired as the fight wears on, but Paulie Highland in his first ever 6th rounder, he's kept the stamina levels up high.
Yeah, it's really ending very well. They're both lads going for as much as they can. Getting very little in this round as well. Both of them working very, very hard, trying to win the last round.
There have been inklings tonight of fine things on the way from Szabó, but this is Paulie Highland's night, without any doubt at all. An assured performance from someone still so young.
Mr. Irving's scorecard reads 59 points to 56 in favor of the man from Jobestown, Paulie Highland.
And what a display from Paulie Highland. A winner on the night, and he'll want it to stay that way.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. Before 6th round, I only really done 3 rounds fighting my lot. 2.5, we only had 2 fights. 6 rounds really tough for your 3rd fight, but it's experience, the extra rounds that I didn't get for the 4 rounders, you know. I was only flyweight last year, and he was the featherweight champion of Hungary, and I proved it there now that I can move up the weight and I could still fight as well.
Your first 6th rounder, when you were heading beyond the 4-round mark, you're thinking, okay, uncharted territory. But how was it for you out there?
The 4th round I thought was winning. I actually thought I lost 1 round, and I thought I won 5 rounds, and then he got 2 public warnings, so that's a round off. So I thought I well won the fight going into the 4th round. So that's where I went on my bike, but it just shows you in the programme, going on your back foot doesn't prove to the referee and the judges, you know.
Well done on tonight anyway, great win.
Thanks.
Well, we know professional boxing's on a high in Ireland at the moment. Proven again tonight, the 3 Highland brothers all winning, and a terrific victory inside the distance for Paul Griffin as well. A lot of people hoping that he might come up sometime in the near future against Bernard Dunn. Definitely what we all want to see is another bill like this. The Highlands and Paul Griffin, great victories for them tonight. From the National Stadium, it's goodbye.